pay. I hope you had fun with the movie. I start with one question and then I give the microphone to both of them. How did you cast the young guys for the movie? Wait. From the blog. Yeah. We saw 1,500 young actors between the ages of 10 and 17. We had loads of choice. There's so much young talent out there. And I was excited to have an opportunity to give them an opportunity to shine. John Boyega, who plays Moses, was 17. He'd never been on camera ever before. The kid that played Pest, the little white boy, had never been on camera ever before. And you know, they just walked into the audition and they were really great. And I'm really proud of them. I love them. I think they're brilliant. And I wish them every success. Is that the answer to your question? Yeah. We should say, are we taking questions from the audience? Yeah. Because we have a prize, right?
Yeah, we got a small prize.
For the best questions.
But we choose. We're going to choose the winner. So you get a super soaker each.
And then outside,
well, each for the people who, not each. We haven't. Like the beer budget. There's only 2.
And then outside, I've got 2 cans of petrol and a cigarette lighter. Party.
So who has a question? Yeah, this only guy, yeah.
Well, I really like the simple effective creature design. I was wondering if that was something you always had in mind, or if it was maybe influenced by budgetary reasons. What would you have done differently at
Joe.
Nick, thank you. Good question. Thank you.
Why don't you repeat the question so some people at the back can hear it?
Yes. The question was, what was the fucking question?
My question was...
Don't let him touch it.
I was wondering if the creature design was always meant to be like this, which I really like, or if it was influenced by budgetary reasons, and what would you have done differently if that was the case?
Thank you. Yes, it was. We didn't have enough...
You're right.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I'm very old. We didn't have enough money for CG creatures, and as a film goer, I have a thing that all CGI aliens look very similar. The aliens in Battle LA, Cowboys and Aliens, Super 8, they seem like the same alien.
Maybe they're the same species.
Possible. And I personally love, the thing I love about movies in the 80s when I was growing up is the practical effects. The costumes. I like things that you can touch. Like this. So for us, necessity was the mother of invention, and we wanted to use, so we used a little bit of CGI, but we used it to actually take away detail rather than add it, to make our creatures abstract. Yeah, so that's the answer. And the design was inspired by my cat. This is true. I've always had a black cat since I was... Does anyone here have a black cat? Aren't they beautiful when they're backlit? They look like a silhouette, like a shadow puppet. So that was the idea where this design came from.
You can do it at home. Go home and backlit your cat with a torch.
But if you win the Super Soaker, you can actually set fire to your cat. It would be very cruel, but exciting.
Yes, lady with her hand up there.
Thank you. And what kind of toothpaste did you use on them?
Colgate
She's
Ultra
asking
Bright.
what kind of toothpaste were used on the aliens.
It's these new teeth whitening toothpastes, and if you use them too much, that's what happens. You get iridescent teeth.
Strips you can leave on overnight.
Good question. She's in line for a super soaker.
Yes. Yours was good, but it wasn't that good. Yes.
Obviously, with the movie you tell a story, a wonderful story, a very good arc, I think. But was it somehow influenced? Was there? I mean, to me, it was kind of like a social study, kind of. And also
You are not going to get a super soaker by the way.
with Moses at the end, you know, he's becoming the hero actually. Started out as a sort of anti-hero type. Was that also a story you planned on?
So, yeah.
Did the film have a social message?
This gentleman is saying the film has a social message. I think your question is, did I plan that, or was it an accident? Yeah. I planned it. I think other movies they make up as they go along. I think, judging by, you know, but yeah, we planned it.
Let's have one from the back, maybe. The
back.
Let's have the lady behind the guy that stood up. Yeah. Yes, you, madam. Yeah. Is Moses a reference to the Bible? Joe.
Well, Moses was named after a friend of mine called Moses Elliott, who was one of the first young people I spoke to about the story. And I liked his name. I thought that was a cool name. And then I thought, it's a bit biblical. And then I thought, fuck it. Yeah, so there is a real person called Moses who isn't from the Bible.
Do you think your friend Moses Elliott, do you think that was a biblical reference by Mr. and Mrs. Elliott?
I'm sure, but I'm called Joseph and I'm rubbish at carpentry. Was he a carpenter? He was.
I'm Nick, and I'm good at stealing things, so... yeah, who? You do, you should.
You yeah.
Why wasn't Pierce Brosnan in the movie?
That's going to get a super
Super
soaker.
fucking This gentleman knows that I love Pierce Brosnan. I like to call him Bronhon. I don't know why. And what I particularly like...
And Steve, sign something for me as well.
Of course.
You're getting a super soaker, don't be greedy. Sign the super soaker.
Woo!
Pierce Brosnan last.
Wow, this guy's amazing, but you're alienating the rest of the audience. They don't know what's going on. I have a radio show and we're very keen on Pierce Brosnan. Thank you. Didn't even need to join in with that. Self-regulating. But I particularly like Pierce Brosnan's grunting noises, his non-verbal acting. Next time you watch a Pierce Brosnan film, watch out for his grunting. It's
Is
sensational.
there some of that in Dante's Peak?
There's a lot of it. Dante's Peak, you see the script of that. It's 90 pages of...
As an actor, it's a challenge.
Can you do good grunting? No.
Yes.
Pierce should have sung the final song. That's a very good, slightly odd, but good point.
Go on, you choose one. So there's only one super soaker left.
Let's go for this chap in the middle, and then we'll come to the nice lady there.
How did you make this fucking movie so fucking cool?
You're just in it for the super soaker. Right? He just wants a super soaker. I don't think he did think it
I mean,
was
what
cool.
was the most important thing for you to make this movie so cool? Because it really.
Well, that's nice of you to say. I tell you why I wanted to do it, because I'd seen a lot of films that demonized kids like this. And for me, I don't kind of approve of demonizing children. Even if they do a bad thing, they clearly do a bad thing, but the movie was an attempt to move away from the stereotype of what people like to call hoodies. So that was the most important thing for me, to present these characters and then give them dimension and humanity kind of thing. But hey, if that's cool,
Coolness,
then
yeah.
so be it.
This little elfin type woman.
She hasn't responded well to that.
She laughed. It's a start. She laughed. It's a beginning.
What was the most exciting or challenging thing during filming the whole thing? And my super question, what is your cat's name?
Why don't you answer the first one then, Nick? What do you think was the most exciting?
I stopped listening, to be perfectly honest. What did you say? I stopped looking at you. It was...
Exciting or challenging part of filming?
I think for me the most exciting or challenging part of the film, unlike any other film I've ever done, I was now suddenly the oldest person on set, which was a bit weird, and they talked a language I didn't understand. And sometimes at lunch I'd have to sit on my own, and they'd take my money and stuff. So probably that.
My answer would be the same. Would be working with those that cast. The whole crew fed off them because it was my first film. It was their first film. It was the composer's first film. It was the cinematographer's first film, Tom Townend. So it just felt like we were all going on an adventure. And yeah, that was the best thing for me, was working with those. I like to call them kiddies because it's patronising. And they love that. What's your cat's name? My first cat was called Comfy, named by my father after one of Thomas Hardy's cats. My current cat is called Macy, but we didn't name it, the neighbours did, and then we nicked it off of them. The cat. Okay. Let's just have some silence for a bit.
Yeah, let's just about it.
What about the...
Yeah, this lady right in the middle at the back.
Thank you.
Not you.
What would you yourself do? Tell me I should drink that day. When I was watching a friend's drinking game.
Well, like a drinking game? I saw someone on the internet had a drinking game where you had to drink every time they say fam or bruh. In which case you'd be fucking trashed after about 4 minutes.
Why don't you watch Dante's Peak, and every time Pierce Brosnan grunts, have an Erdinger.
All I ask is that you turn the lights off, you go to the loo, you get all your snacks around you, you tell...
In the loo?
Not in the loo.
Oh, I see.
You're the only one that snacks.
I can believe it's my drink. Sorry,
I've lost my train of thought.
Go to the loo
and have a snack.
Yeah.
How did you get the wood planted in the 19th floor?
How did we get them to the 19th floor? How did we get the weed to the 19th floor? No, either that's a really stupid question, or you are so knowledgeable about weed that you understand that the slightest incremental difference in altitude at which it's grown affects the potency of the bud. And I tell you, we tried to get that shit to the 20th floor, but it was just, that would have been too strong.
They also come in seed form. It's not like a giant plant. You just bring them up in little seeds and you grow them in situ.
Like he's just filming the answer and nodding and grinning.
Yes, lovely big man's arm.
Are you planning a US release? And if yes, will you be providing subtitles?
The film is out in America. It's been out for 3 weeks. It's sort of a platform release. It opened in 7 cities, then it expanded to more cities last weekend. And no one ever, I mean, some internet journalists talked about subtitles, but Sony, who are releasing it, never considered it really. I think it's easier to understand what people think. A lot of that language is, I mean, how old is hip hop now? Like 60 years old or something? But a lot of those terms have been around for a while. Did you find it okay to understand?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
My whole life, so I was wondering what the other colonials understand.
What do you mean other colonials? Like,
My dear fellow countrymen, would they understand all the slang terms?
yeah, they really seem to get it, the American audiences, yeah. And we designed it to be simple. We use the same 9 or 10 slang terms repeatedly in different contexts. Genuinely. So it's designed to actually teach you to come to South London and survive on the top deck of a number 3 bus, which goes between Brixton and, Streatham and the West End.
Really out of
That is a good idea. That's very specific. The Left 4 Dead engine, in particular. Yeah. No. That's good because it's cheaper because you don't have to rebuild the engine. Yeah,
I like it when you said Left 4 Dead engine. As a man who likes gaming, it's kind of a dream to hear a woman say that. I've been with my wife for 10 years, she's never once said that to me. Not once. What? Sorry, there's people leaving it up. Where are you going? What are you doing?
I don't know. You know what? There's a free game on the iPad and the iPhone. If you look on your iPhone, there's a free Attack the Block mini game that's supposed to be quite good. But I'd love there to be a video game. But I think we're relying on you to bring the engine back to life, whatever it is you do.
You just say there's a guy right at the back with his hand half-heartedly up, looking at us, thinking you're never going to ask me. So do it.
Thank you for your attention. First, and my question is, which character did you like most?
Who's that to? I quite like the guy who played the drug dealer. He was cool. I think probably one of my favourites though is Moses. I like Mo. I think because I really like John Boyega as a person as well. Someone who's only, what is he, 18 years old. He really has his head screwed on and he's a lovely bloke. So when I see him kind of at the end busting shit up, I really kind of punch the air a bit. So me or John?
I couldn't say. I love them all. It would be cruel to pick one, but if I had to, it would be Little Mayhem. Totally. He's an actor called Michael Ajao, who was 11 when we filmed or something. He's 32 now. And he's unemployed, which is sad. No, he's got a very bright future.
We're allowed one more question. So we've already given one Super Soaker, so we need another one.
Who's got the Super
and
Soaker?
then we're done. The question about Pierce Brosnan, I think,
Yes.
wins. So unless this one's good,
What about Colgate Lady? She's really
unless this one wins, then it will be Colgate Lady.
This is exciting. It's Colgate Lady versus this next question. This is very
It's Colgate
exciting.
Lady versus Galadriel, essentially.
Who are you choosing?
Maybe this, the only guy with his hands up, I suppose.
Your hair in the movie, that was a wig, right?
No, that was absolutely my own hair.
That's no good. That's no good. Who's that guy right at the very back? Right at the very back.
Pierce Brosnan.
In the white shirt, right at the very back in the middle. I do. He was saying that I appeared on a list of prospective directors for Die Hard 5, which is true and was as much as a surprise to me as it was to you. And also that was another question. Oh, and the next project. I'm working on something, but I wouldn't mind keeping it a secret in case I change my mind. And the Die Hard thing, I can't really say. It's not really for me to say, but it was certainly very exciting to be offered it. I don't know quite what Bruce Willis would think about that if I turned up. But so I'm going to be annoyingly vague and inconclusive about that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. Super Soaker?
Sadly, no. I think
We're going to go Colgate.
Pierce Brosnan and
Pierce.
Colgate Lady.
A round of applause for Colgate Lady.
Thank you very much for coming and seeing
Thank you for staying. Thank you very much indeed.
Pierce Brosnan, the lady there.
Put your hand up here.
Pierce Brosnan,
Stand up, Pierce. Stand up.
Pierce Brosnan.
There he is, everyone.
Oh yeah. Okay. Both of you are signing outside. If you go outside to the left, and after that we have beer in front of the cinema. So, thanks for coming to Fantasy Filmfest.